Well, one of my favorite quotes is be the change you want to see in the world from
Be the
Mahatma Gandhi.
change. Hmm.
Love that. I've seen it everywhere. I mean, motivational posters to therapy offices to schools to whatever. And it really resonates with me. And I think that would be a good topic for us to talk about, given the times and how we're descending into madness.
It's madness, I tell you.
Right.
Madness. I love that. Be the change. It sounds when you say that, if you're not ready to hear that, if your brain's not ready to accept it, it sounds so, oh, that's so esoteric. That's so whatever, right? But when it really lands, be the change that you want to be. Be the change you want to see in the world, right?
Yeah.
The world can only be a reflection of what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
So it does seem like times in the world where things are utter chaos.
Yeah.
And this was a good reminder for me. So as we've been talking, Tom, I've been kind of dismayed at how the United States has been below these recent decade.
Yeah.
um, and sometimes it feels hopeless. Sometimes it feels just way too much. And I retreat when necessary away from all the news and all the garbage. But what has been a really cool reminder for me is watching the World Cup. As
Yeah.
you know, I'm a big fan, and I've been taking days off and sitting my big butt in front of the TV and sitting in the pool watching lots of soccer matches. And
Yeah.
I mean, I just love it. It's my thing. And but what's been really cool is watching all of the visitors to our country. At just amazement at the food and how friendly the people are and how vast our country is and how beautiful it is. And just to re-see this country in strangers' eyes has really been wonderful for me because we are not um, we are not our politics. We are not our government, right? We are a big, beautiful, messy, fun, caring people in this country, and um,
We
we are
already are great.
we we really are great. Yeah, we absolutely, yeah, and we are not defined by our politics.
Yeah. It has been interesting watching the response and reaction to people coming over and
Mhm.
participating and just seeing how we do things. A little bit of a culture shock sometimes, but it has been great. And I want to capitalize on that greatness and I want those dear listeners out there to help us change the culture. And not heritage or, your background or where you're from, but I mean just the societal culture, to what we
Mhm.
want it to be, because that's what we do have control over. You don't
Mhm.
have control over what the politicians are doing or, what's happening in other countries. You don't have control over what's happening from city to city, but you do
Mhm.
have control over yourself, and you start with yourself and your home and your neighborhood and your
Mhm.
community and the city that you live in, and you
Mhm.
go from there. What would you like to see differently? You know,
Mhm.
there's always this mentality of like, well, that's not my job, or somebody else will do it. Like there's a piece of trash on the ground in your
Mhm.
neighborhood and you just leave it. Well, it's not my trash, so somebody else will get it, or the lawn people will get it, or whatever, or it'll blow away into the next
Mhm.
neighborhood, right? Or the shopping cart that's, left in the stall that's not in the appropriate place. Well, it's not my cart. I didn't put it there. So bring it back. And if people see you doing and engaging in these things, it might inspire or at least plant a seed. Hey,
Mhm.
let's police ourselves a little bit, instead of relying on or just hoping that somebody else will get it.
Mhm. And just like we talk about, here and we talk about with our clients, one small change leads to bigger changes, leads to bigger changes. And, we talk about the person with depression and, or whatever. Just one small change. Go for a 10-minute walk every day. Go outside, get some sun on your
Right.
face, walk around the block 3 times, 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
And the changes that can, well, oh man, if I can do that for 10 minutes and that feels good, I'm going to maybe do it for 20 minutes. Or now I'm off the couch and, now I'm feeling a little bit better. Now I'm going
Right.
to go, do whatever, do something
I've
else.
had people that have come in and being like, you know what? I got up and I got a shower and got dressed to come in to see you today. And that was like the most I've done in the past week. And that felt good to be able to do that.
Yeah. One small change, leads to some more small changes, and it all has to start somewhere. And
Yeah.
not only does that ring true personally, and we see that every day with the work that we do, but that works on a macro scale as well. Like
Mhm.
you said, one small change. You take that cart in the parking lot and you go put it back in somebody else's cart. And by the way, Tom, that bugs the crap out of me. That is one of my pet peeves of people that just ditch carts everywhere. And
Mhm.
I have been that guy that when I see them ditch a cart, I've put it behind their car.
Yeah.
I don't handcuff it to their door handle like I've seen on video, but that would be great. I would love that. But yeah, that one bugs me. But do something small like that. Pick up the trash, put the cart away, say hi to somebody, say
Right.
good morning. And not only does it make you feel better, gives you, some of those good, happy hormones, but
Hmm.
it will ring true with them. And maybe it'll, just be the one interaction that that person has that day that lifts their mood just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I go on the walks now, and I have been in the morning, and I see the neighbors and I say hello, and they're different backgrounds, different political views. And I say hello to everyone and I stop and I talk to everyone. Sometimes it's to stop and chat, or sometimes it's to walk for a quarter mile and talk about anything and everything. And because they have, like, for example, different political views, when I'm talking to one, they're like, "Oh, you talk to such and such?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, so what?" Like,
So, they're a red or they're a blue.
yeah,
So,
just I don't, yeah, just because I don't necessarily agree
mm,
with their views on things doesn't mean I can't be neighborly. And we're human
right,
beings, right? We're
right.
say hello
And
and talk to
remember,
everyone.
and the younger people don't remember the times when we would have political debates and to still be the best of friends, right? You're
Yeah,
having a political debate did not lead to anger, it did not lead to resentment, it did not lead to division, it didn't lead to anything, but we have a difference of opinion. It
yeah,
was the same reaction you had as I like liver and onions, I don't like liver and onions.
right. And it's
I like
you don't
ketchup
think
on
more
my
about it.
eggs. Yeah, I don't like ketchup on my eggs. Okay, so then we're different. That's no big deal.
Yeah,
It's not like that anymore, particularly with politics. If you're a red, you're a this. If you're a blue, you're a that. And then and there are forces, I believe, in the world that are benefiting, obviously, just look around, from keeping us angry with each other.
yeah,
They want us divided
mhm.
because if we're arguing with each other, we're not paying attention to the broader picture, and we're not angry with the people and the institutions we should be angry with
By design.
by design.
Mhm. So you're losing sight of you're losing the battle, and you're
Right.
losing sight of what's really important. And so
Mhm.
we need to make some changes. And you
Right.
start by yourself, taking care of yourself,
Right.
even just like your hygiene, if you go out to the store wearing PJs and slippers, I mean, what is that saying to everybody? Like, I don't care, whatever. Or like, this shit was important. I needed to get this right now. I couldn't even put on real pants.
Right.
Right. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but I mean, people are observing and they're watching you and how you carry yourself and the things you talk about, even the language that you use. And if we want to change the world on a macro level, we've got to start at the micro. We've got to start right
Mhm.
here now with ourselves.
Mhm. And a lot of these World Cup visitors had, the only thing they knew about the United States is what they see on their media.
Mhm.
right? And it's not good. I mean, a lot of people came to this country saying that they thought they were going to be harassed by ICE, that, people are rude, racism, all that kind of
All the
stuff.
propaganda that was
All the
spread,
propaganda
right?
that, yeah, you know, it's not safe to travel the United States. Everyone has a gun. Everyone's shooting each other, the whole, and this couldn't be farther from the truth,
Mhm.
right? And they came here and they're like, everyone is nice, and I felt safe here. I left my hotel at midnight to walk across the street to, get some snacks, and I felt perfectly safe.
Right.
Well, you're in the right, you were in the right city to do that, or the right parts of the city.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, relatively, this is a very safe country.
Yeah. So let's take stock in the things that are great. Are things perfect? No, they're never going to be perfect. Just like
Right.
ourselves. Are we ever going to be perfect? No, but it's okay. And we don't even have to always like seek to be better. I mean, I think that's a great approach, but sometimes it puts you in the weeds. You can get down on yourself because you're not growing as fast as you'd like to. It's okay to take stock in what is right now and be grateful for that.
Right.
Everything
Right.
changes. Nothing lasts forever. So, I mean, let's enjoy
Right.
the things that are and the things we have right now.
Mhm. Enjoy those plateaus. I'm usually a highly driven guy. I've got lists of projects, and I'm kind of on the go 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 kind of thing. And the past several weeks, I can't tell you, I have spent more time on in the pool, on the chair, on the couch with my face in front of a TV watching a soccer match. I've watched more TV in the past 3 weeks than I have probably in the last 3 months. And I said, "Hey, my
Yeah.
projects will wait. This this tournament's going to be over in a couple of weeks, so."
Yeah. Well, you know, I've heard more and more people talking about and focused on how people out there are inconsiderate assholes and we see it, of course, it's there.
Mhm.
But I mean, you choose what you get to focus on.
Right.
We go back to the reframing and finding the good in things. You
Hmm.
don't know what's going on for that person, and they may be an inconsiderate asshole, or maybe they're just having a bad day or whatnot. But I like to be the person that still, even though they may not deserve it, still give kindness and respect. And sometimes that means turning the other cheek, so to speak. And I like that about myself because that feels good for me. Not that I
Hmm.
really give a shit about what they're experiencing. I'd rather be that and put that energy out. And hopefully that plants a seed and maybe is influential. Maybe that might spark that person, even for one moment, to be nice to somebody else.
Right.
That's enough. The butterfly effect.
Yeah. And the other side of that, I never understood why people take things so personally. Right. So some guy's a jackass and is rude and inconsiderate. Why do you take that as a personal affront?
Because do
Right.
they know you?
Exactly. I mean, why do you putting so much energy into absorbing that?
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so the person is an inconsiderate jerk, and move on. Is it,
Right.
why? And then they're like, well, what did I do to deserve it? And it's just not right, and it's not just, and it's like, well, you're absolutely right, but why are you putting any emotion into that? Who cares? Move on.
Do you even know what the person looks like who's driving in front of you that cut you off?
Right. Right.
Right. You're looking at their vehicle and you're judging who you think they are based on that and based on their actions. But I mean, you don't know anything about them and they don't know anything about you. So
Mhm.
why take it so personally? But we do, don't we? A lot of us do. And that comes that's in line with what we're talking about, policing ourselves and managing our emotional state and not allowing things like that to become personal affronts because they're really not.
Yeah.
Challenging to do.
Hmm.
Somebody's honking at you and riding your ass and swerving around you and cutting you off and like purposefully and you're just like, you son of a bitch, like just hey, slow down, let them go and do whatever they're gonna do and.
Right. Yeah.
Turn on some good music. Turn on
Right.
a great podcast.
I know a few. Why would you absorb that? Why would you want to take that on? Why would you let somebody that you don't know, even if somebody that you do know, influence and change your capacity, change your mood, change your emotional state?
Hmm.
Why do you let somebody in like that? Yeah. I don't get angry. I just shrug a lot.
Minor
Point
inconvenience.
and laugh.
Well, well, I love these big events like soccer. And what is it? Every 30 years it's here? Something like that.
Every four.
Every four.
Or here in the United States. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was what about 30,
Yeah.
34 actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So
30.
I love these big, American type events where you see how people truly are and people coming together and realizing that, we're more alike than we are different. I hate that sometimes it takes big catastrophes in order to see that.
All
Like,
right.
where there's like a big mass shooting or 9/11 or something where you see Americans unite together for a joint cause, and you see some positive shift in the culture.
Mhm.
And that gives me a little bit of hope that, things can change, will change, are changing.
The only constant in life is change. Things will change,
Yeah.
but it's going to be dependent on you on how they change. You have some influence on that. And more importantly, the only thing you really have influence on is how you react to that change.
Hmm.
Do we resist? It is useless to resist us. Do you embrace? You know,
Resistance is futile.
all right. One of my favorite books. Oh, and of course, the name just flew out of my head. Rediscovering, redefining America, something like that. Um, Read the world, something. I don't know. I gave it to you. It was a think tank. It was
It
an
was
output.
really good, and I can't remember.
Redefining humanity.
And
That
I'm trying. That's what it was. And I'm trying to remember the name myself too. I'm like, yes, it was great. I read that. It was a few years back.
Yeah, good Lord. I'm
Yeah.
getting old. I can't remember stuff. Redefining humanity.
Hmm.
Great. It's a what, 80-page little pamphlet manifesto book.
Hmm.
It was really the output of a think tank. And what it really talked about was change is inevitable, and how a society reacts to the change will define how they come out of it,
Yeah.
right? And it gave many examples of how people, societies have resisted change, technological advancements, societal changes, etc., and how it usually does not work out well for people.
Hmm. Well, because it goes to that whole mob think or that group think,
Right,
and we know how negative and you really see like what humanity is capable of.
right,
People are aligning with that just because they feel like they have to be a part of that. And then they end up behaving and even thinking in ways in which they don't normally think and behave.
hmm, yeah.
Perpetuates that cycle.
So when the automobile came out, back in the day, a lot of people, particularly in the horse and buggy industry, were saying, "Oh, it's just a fad. Only rich people will have automobiles." And we
Uh-huh.
see that that didn't work out well for those people that were thinking that way. And
Yeah.
it really redefined transportation. It defined where people live. I mean, people lived in cities up until that point because they had to live close to where they worked.
Close enough. Yeah.
And as soon as the automobile became affordable for everyday people, then the suburbs were born, and people can now live out of the city. So embracing change like that.
Hmm.
There was a great story about the old phone, the Blackberries, right? So those were highly popular at the time. And then the first iPhone came out, and
Yeah.
the CEO of BlackBerry said, "Oh, it's just a fad. We're
Yeah.
not worried about it. We're still the dominant force, and
Right.
in
Nobody's gonna want to pay that amount of money for a phone.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that guy's,
Why do you need to carry around the internet?
yeah. So we could see how that guy was vastly wrong.
Yeah.
And, we see it now with AI. People are resisting AI, right? We can't have all these data centers, and I get it. I mean, there's a lot of environmental factors that are impacting the data
Mhm.
centers, but this whole AI, it's replacing people. It's doing, we have to put a lid on this. We have to be careful. We have to put regulations in place. And it's like, maybe all that's true, but we also need to embrace it because it's here and it's happening. So, you can't put your head in the sand and pretend like we will wish it to go away. It's never going away.
Yeah.
So how do we prepare, and do this in a socially responsible manner?
Hmm.
Embrace the change,
250 some odd years ago,
right?
people wanted big change and they were willing to go to war over it. There was also another, it was divided. There was you know, other side who were loyalists who said, we want to keep everything the way that it is. We don't want, things to change. We don't want to fight back. This is potentially catastrophic. Let's just keep things the way that they are. And families were divided,
Right.
cities, states were divided. And
When we resist change,
yeah.
you know, we did that exactly 250 years ago, and then another 100 years after that, the
Hmm.
country got torn in half.
Yeah.
Because some people wanted to get progressive with, human rights, and the others said, no, 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 it will in fact impact us economically. We can't have that.
We want to keep things just the way that they are.
Right.
Yeah. So to that point, change is inevitable and we have to adapt to it. We are adaptable. You don't have to like it,
Right.
but
We
nothing
don't
lasts
have to
forever.
like it, but we do have to, prepare for it, or at least, be aware of it.
Yeah.
Because again, resistance is futile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, changes are coming. Changes are happening right before our very eyes. And you're
Mhm.
right. I mean, AI is this next big thing, that's becoming profound and has embedded itself into our lives. And that's what we're going to have to adapt to. We can't push it away. It's here, man. So we have to find a way to coexist with it and try to use it for its benefits and still think critically for ourselves and find what we can do that AI can't do yet,
Right.
or maybe
Yeah.
won't be able to ever do.
Hmm.
So that we can function as a society together in a society that you want to live in. What does that
Hmm.
look like? Do you want to live in a society where everybody's being assholes and littering and just leaving shit for somebody else to get? No, I don't want to live that way.
Right.
So what can I do about it? Well, I'll bring my shopping cart up and I'll grab the three that were, left out and I'll pick up two pieces of trash on the way.
Hmm.
I'll say hi to my neighbors.
Hmm.
I'll be considerate.
Even though they fly that stupid flag that I hate in the front
Yeah.
yard,
Even though they do that.
even though, despite all things, I'm having a great day.
Yep. Even though they're walking around with their clipboards, marking down that it's time for Tom to pressure wash his driveway.
Uh,
I'll still say hello.
love that lady. Oh, sorry. I mean, assuming it's a lady.
Oh yeah, no, you
I know exactly who it is. Yeah, she's a peach.
yeah, just a peach.
Uh-huh.
And
Be
you
the
got
change
to
you
deal
want
with
to be,
challenging people
right?
no matter
Hey,
where
she
you go.
walks every morning. You would bring the pressure washer out and then, slip and just pressure wash her a little bit across the
Yeah.
back of that.
Ooh, here you go.
Did I do that yet? And pull a Urkel. Did I do that?
So you be the change that you want to see. Do you want world of assholes? Inconsiderate? No, probably not.
Right.
And you don't always have to be right. Oof, that's a big, that's a
Oof.
heavy one right there, huh?
Right. Yeah.
You feel you're right in your mind, in your perspective, and it's
Hmm.
probably right for you, but doesn't make it right for me or for anybody else.
Exactly. And take a look at the world and through somebody else's eyes. Just take it a different perspective.
Hmm.
You know, like I said, it was very helpful for me to see all of our visitors here. What is it they're calling it? The Great American Sleepover.
Yeah.
We're having, I love, somebody said it's like all the cousins together that don't know each other because their parents hate each other finally got together and had a sleepover. And we're great friends.
Yeah.
Just because our parents hate each other doesn't mean we have to. Yeah, I
So
love
let's make the blanket forts, the pillow forts, and
that.
let's get the flashlights and let's make a whole tray of Totino's pizza rolls. Not a sponsor, by
Oh,
the way,
dang, yummy.
but eat them things by the handful.
Oh, that's so good.
One last thing to mention, I remember you had been a big proponent of this and helping me kind of understand in a better way. But I remember in social work school where you've had you have these classes on advocacy, community level on a larger
Mhm.
scale, macro level, and I just remember, there's a certain cause that you want to stand up for and you want to bring awareness to and get money and maybe even change some laws regarding that and to be of service to others or to make, some positive changes in the community or society and to be a proponent champion of social change. And one of the big takeaways from that, because I could get on board with that, but the big takeaway was if you're pushing for and advocating for something, a change here or there, or to redistribute funds or monies to, um, there's no free lunch, so to speak. And when you do that, this is great, but to be mindful and be careful because okay, now you get funds and attention rerouted to taking care of this marginalized group of people that need help and support. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So by doing that, somewhere down the road, you're taking from something else that somebody
Right.
else feels passionate about. That
Hmm.
they don't have money or resources for their cause because, you have helped this new cause or this different cause. And that was pretty profound. And I know you had seconded that as you have advocated for social change and made that happen on
Hmm.
scales, which I admire. And but I'm always thinking about, like that type of stuff, to just keep that in mind. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love that energy cannot be created or destroyed. We have a static amount of resources and they need to be, the only debate that everyone continues to have is how do we allocate those resources?
Yeah.
Well, somebody, somebody gets more and somebody gets less, and they're all deserving, you
Right.
know. So there are people, and here's an example that'll probably stir people up, but why the hell not, Tom? You know what? It's 250 years of stirring
Okay.
people up. Let's continue to do it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that are very passionate about animals, right?
Mhm.
Dogs, animals, sea turtles, the whole damn thing. And I love that, right? I'm a big advocate, proponent of animals myself.
Mhm.
But then there's the other side that say we have kids that don't have a meal to eat and are starving to death, but yet we're pouring resources into animal conservation.
Mhm.
I get it. I get it. Are humans more important than animals? That's a debate. Do
Right.
I love animals more than people most of the time? Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
But so just, I mean, that just highlights the debate. Why you don't have to have a stance one way or another, or you don't have to make sure everybody knows what your stance is. But that's just an example of how you highlight that.
Right. Hmm.
Yes, be passionate about the things that you're passionate about, but be cognizant of the other things that are happening. And look at the world through other people's eyes sometimes.
Right. And there are times when we have to compromise, and both sides don't get what they want.
Right?
But there's you get something, in a
Yeah.
compromise. Both sides don't get what they want, but you get a little bit of something that maybe you had desired or wanted. And I think that's going to become more and more important as we move further with our current society and changes that are coming. That we're going to have to find ways to compromise. Even if we don't agree on things, we have to find a way to have some common ground and understand that maybe we all kind of want similar things in a way. Maybe we just word it or color it differently, and
Hmm.
we've got to find a way to sit down with each other and come to some resolution on things. But there will be more discussion on that moving forward. But for now, what you can control is yourself, your
Uh-huh.
home.
And what you can control is how you react to others. You can't control their behavior, their thoughts, their actions, their whatever, but you can control on how you react to it or don't react to it.
Yeah.
The best reaction is no reaction because a lot
Yeah.
of times people just want to get a rise out of you.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I see that all the time. People, like, hey, throw up in my lap waiting for me to, you know, have that reaction. I just go, oh, yeah, that's a mess.
And I see that in like group therapy where just people can't help themselves, right? And you just don't react to it. Just brush it off. This person
Right,
is going to have their view and they're going to say their things, and even if it's like doesn't align with your views or your values, or you feel like it's even disrespectful, like, there's no video cameras there. The FBI is not watching what's happening. Hey, it's America, free speech. It's not
right,
harming. And you don't have to participate in it. But you can at least you can be there, and then you don't have to respond or react. But some people can't help themselves. They feel passionate about something, and I admire that, and I get that. And you're not going to
mhm,
change somebody's views, though. You know, that's the thing, right? You're not going to,
right,
whether that's on Facebook or in person or out driving in the car, you're not going to educate somebody, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, you're right. I did cut you off. That was a terrible thing for me to do. I'm so sorry about that."
right,
You're so
so,
right on your political views. I didn't think about things like that. Thank you for
right.
coming to
What was
educate.
I thinking?
Yeah. Oh, you saw a 6-second video and you formed your whole opinion about that based off of that video? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so funny. My one of my favorite things is people say something silly, and I'm like, oh, really? Where'd you get that from? Google's free. Check it out.
Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world, man.
Right. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Start with you. So, having said that,
What? In the famous words of Michael Jackson, I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
right. Love that. Absolutely. Start with that guy.
Yeah.
Mhm. Soon as you're done picking the fuzz out of your belly button,
Tom, have you been on my calendar? How do you know what I'm doing today?
I'm saving up for a pillow.
Blech.
Oh God. Well, on that note,
Wow. So,
hey,
yeah.
is it gonna be the US England tomorrow game or
No,
oh,
that mathematical thing did not transpire.
yeah, okay.
It was one of those. It had to be. Yeah, it had to. The stars needed to align, and the stars did not align. The United States plays Monday against Belgium. So
Oh, okay.
Monday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the United States will hopefully be beating up Belgium, although the United States is the underdog.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
we'll
we
see.
hope that you guys have a happy fourth if you're listening to it today or around that time. And if it's after, we hope that you did have a great fourth and
Yeah.
that you have all of your fingers.
All right, here's to 10 fingers.
Very good.
You need every one of them to pull all that fuzz out of your belly button.
That's right. Well, thank you
Thanks,
guys for
Tom.
being here. We
Always a
hope you
pleasure.
enjoyed. And of course, questions or comments, please send them in to questions at therapyonzip.com and let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and what's going on in your lives. I will see you
Yeah.
soon.
Give us a topic to talk about because otherwise, left to our own devices, we're gonna like talk about belly buttons and stuff like
Exactly. Give us something, man. Right?
that.
And we'll come up with stuff. We'll still do it
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So
That's funny.
help us, help steer this. What's a trending topic you want to hear about? Anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys soon.